You obviously, right, you have women, right, who want to pursue goals. Now obviously we've been traditionally a boxing platform, right, and you've seen this rise in women's boxing, and you have people like women
Mm.
like Katie Taylor doing very well. And you've had other female fighters as well, but women's boxing is increasing, okay? And it's not just boxing, it can be any career. Do you not believe that women should have the right to be able to pursue whatever career path that they want to do?
Look, I think anybody should be able to do whatever they want. I'm a libertarian. Just, stay out of my life, stay out of my pockets. I don't want the government involved in anything. So that's just me. But is that what is aligned with their biological imperative? Because for women, they start having this desire, this want, this need in their mid to late 20s to have children. Not all women, but the vast majority of women start hearing the biological clock ticking. And that's when they start taking dating and men a little more seriously. And they have to sort of get themselves right and squared away and find a guy so they can go and do that. Now, you can climb the corporate ladder, you can get into combat sports and fight other women. That doesn't matter to me. But the reality is, if you're going to commit to why you're on this earth and what your biological imperative continues to tell you, which is to breed and to have children, then beating up other women is not really aligned with that. I don't find it interesting. I don't find watching anybody chase excellence, to be honest with you, interesting. There's elements of it that I might, pay attention to. But one of the things that I may comment on that some people tend to disagree with and many tend to agree is I don't watch professional sports. It doesn't make sense to me to watch other men on a soccer pitch or anywhere else chasing excellence, and I'm cheering for them. The funny thing that I find interesting is when men and their girlfriend are watching, let's say, like a football match, and his girlfriend has the name of another man on her back.
Or another heavyweight champion?
Or another heavyweight champion. It doesn't matter whatever it happens to be. But
Yeah.
like I said, if you want to get into sports and get your face smashed in and compete like men, like this is one of the things that did not exist 100 years ago. Like, women only got involved in the Olympics, I think it was 1910 or 1911 or something like that, in the early 1900s. Prior to that, it was just men competing. Now, I get why some women play sports. I get why men watch women's tennis. Women's tennis is interesting because there's a lot of, gal parts and skirts and short tops and stuff like that moving around. I don't get why anybody would watch women beat the crap out of each other. That's not interesting to me. It's not attractive, and I don't find it remotely like in the hierarchy of combat that I can give my attention to. I'd rather watch two of the strongest men fight than watch two of the strongest women fight. It just doesn't interest me. It's not competition in my eyes anyway.
No, I think and to stick to the statistics, and obviously you're a scientific person and you stick to the facts, right? The facts are that male sports are obviously more watched. When you compare boxing, male
Yeah,
boxing
they
to
get paid
female
more too,
boxing.
don't they? Because there's more viewership.
Yeah, and I think that this argument of women should be paid, I don't
No,
think
that's
they should.
silly.
No, because
You
you
should
you
be
get paid.
paid based on the eyeballs that you draw, right? Like, should I be paid as much as Mr. Beast for uploading a YouTube video? I don't generate the millions or tens of millions of views that he generates because I'm just uploading the same platform. That's the same argument, saying that a woman should be paid the exact same amount that a man should, for entering the boxing ring. No, you should be paid for the amount of eyes that you generate on that sport.
Right, right. Okay, Rich. I've got another. Let's go on to a slightly different topic
Sure.
before we close off. Right. In your book, you talked about young men driving a motorcycle. Like, in your life, you should get a motorbike,
Mhm.
and you said that it's the equivalent of riding a horse and riding a stallion in the old days.
I
Could
think
you
so.
elaborate and comment on that?
Riding a motorcycle it's a rite of passage. It's one of the things that men can do, which allows them to be men. Not a lot of women ride motorcycles. You'll get some women that do, but it's predominantly a male pastime. Whether it's sport bikes, whether it's Harleys, whether it's off-road enduro type of motorcycles, it requires dexterity. It requires balance. Like, riding a motorcycle is not as easy as driving a car. There's a manual shift mechanism for the vast majority of bikes, even still today. If you have an accident, the toll that you pay is much higher than being in a safety cage, like a car. I think it's something that men should consider for a whole bunch of reasons. One, the speed is unbelievable. It's cheap speed. You can buy a $10,000 600cc super bike, and it'll be just about as fast as most $300,000 supercars today. Once you roll on the gas, they get better gas mileage. They brake as well. The only thing that they don't do quite as well is they don't corner as well because the contact patches are a little bit smaller. But it's great for dating. I mean, if you're a single guy, there's nothing that I found that got women as interested in you as offering, to put a helmet on them and put them on the back of your bike. On the first date, she's required to put her entire life and trust in you on the back seat of a motorcycle, and she has to be intimate with you because she has to wrap her arms around you and hold on to you nice and tightly. So I think it's a great way for guys to get started in the world, especially in their 20s. Be careful, keep your head on a swivel, but it's certainly viewed, in my opinion, as a rite of passage.
Sounds exhilarating. I think I need to go try it. I haven't ridden a motorcycle in this country. In other countries I have, but not in here, not in this country. But yeah, it sounds extremely exhilarating. And I think that was one of the elements in your book which I found very unique and something that I've never heard before. So I just wanted you to comment and elaborate on that. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Get a motorcycle, get into combat sports, fight, make sure that you're laying the groundwork for your life, chase excellence, not women. And take care of yourself, man. Like self-care is incredibly important. You only get, as far as we know, we only get one go at this. Okay. And once it's over, maybe there's a bonus round for us, maybe there isn't. But the one that we have right now, I would take life seriously. I don't think enough guys take life seriously enough, and they just kind of float through it. They're rudderless through it. They don't make clear, concise choices that are for their own betterment. So that would be my closing advice.
Rich, just before I let you go, okay, I want you to, particularly for the younger viewers, right, who are about to make some major mistakes in their life, right? I want you to please, you've obviously dealt with several individuals who have come after, have come from a train wreck. And I've heard some of your stories, which are just completely crazy and insane. Could you tell us one of the most craziest stories that you've heard that someone's come to you and explained, I've gone through this trauma, I was with a woman and this happened? Do you think you could tell us one on the top of your head?
Well, I mean, if I tell you the worst one, it's probably the guy. I believe I had him on a podcast once on my channel. The title of the podcast escapes me, but the short version of it was he was going through divorce, and she essentially tried to poison him. She tried to kill him. And she went to some great lengths to end his life, cover up what she did to end his life, lie in court. It was about 4 or 5 years of hell. There's some people out there that have said you haven't experienced trauma and pain until you've been in a boxing match and punched hard. I can tell you from a guy that's been through divorce, which wasn't as bad for me. Obviously, nobody tried to kill me. But there are a lot of men out there that have been through a lot of difficulties with extremely difficult, in some cases, crazy women that look absolutely normal when you meet them. Again, that's why I tell guys vet for the 20 red flags. That's why I put that as a chapter in my book. It's a free chapter, by the way. You can just go to my Twitter and you can download it by opting into my email list. But it's really, really important not to put yourself in a compromising situation like that, because things can get very bad. Some men have lost their life. One of the difficulties and tough conversations that aren't had that often is that men going through a divorce have a much, much, much higher suicide rate than women do. I think it's 10 times, if not more, higher today. But it is absurd. And it's because it's usually men that suffer, because family law is written to protect and serve women. And unfortunately, women tend to find ways to manipulate these laws to their benefit. So it can be difficult for men. So that's the short version of the story.
Yeah, I think I actually heard the statistic, and obviously it varies depending on where you are on the planet, which country, but I believe it was about 800%, so about 8 times higher for men than it is women,
Yeah.
which speaks volumes to mental health issues and what people are going through with women, and having a train wreck in their life. So I think for young people, it's really important that you vet check the woman that you're getting with, and you chase excellence in your life, not women. And just be careful, but don't live. I think it's important that you also don't live a life which is too much, on the sort of statistics side, and some things you need to kind of let develop, but just use your common sense, right? And navigate your way through life in what's natural, and just do the best that you can with the cards that you're given, and work hard. And I think that's the bottom line, right, Rich?
Yeah, I just want to be clear. Not all women are bad. Like one of the things people like to take out of context is, oh, Rich is always complaining about women, or Rich says that all women are. No, I have a girlfriend. I've been with her for years. She's great. But there's certain boundaries that you want to set around your life and structure in your life so that you don't complicate it unnecessarily. I'm at a stage in my life where I don't have an interest in having any more kids, and marriage doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So why would I ever get married again? As much as she may want to, and she may one day come to me and say, Rich, if we don't get married, then I'm going to leave you and find somebody else. I have to be in a position where it's like, fine, okay, it's been good. Enjoy yourself. And let it go.
The unplugged alpha, Richard Cooper himself. If you enjoyed that clip, click this link over here. It will take you to the full podcast. And remember to subscribe to Be Real TV and follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram.